Oi!
Oi, oi. Here we are.
It's the Aftershow.
The European leg of the Bin podcast is here.
Yes, it's on now.
How the fuck are you, mate? Really enjoyed the show tonight. Really enjoyed the show. Fantastic
was
guest.
good. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. I'm probably gonna do like binge listening to her fucking podcast because. But
Same.
One of the things that we really need to talk about is that we have a guest on, and only in the end do we ask her. So, tell us a bit about your podcast.
Yeah. Well, I think we got distracted, and this is like, let's look at the sausage making process. I did say at the start of the show, we need to find a little structure, and we was all over the place, literally all over the place. But
what was this your first episode on the bin? No.
Yeah. Hang on. Every time I've got that. Oh, I've only been doing it over a year. Sorry.
Oh, and
still not getting it.
We got both Doc Fearsome and Neil 604 the Aces hanging out in the background in the chats. Hi guys, I hope you're all doing all right. And Neil, I'll talk to you in a bit, mate.
Yeah, but as we're in after show, let's just talk about the process itself. It's fucking hard getting people in 4 different time zones together. And this is what I don't think people appreciate. Like, I know people, oh, it's a podcast, but we've got 4 different time zones to deal with. So trying to link that up is graft in itself.
Yeah, but like you and me, we're basically just, you know.
Oh yeah, we're like an hour away.
Yeah, it's like it's a detail.
Yeah.
Right? Is it 8 o'clock? Is it 8 p.m. or is it 9 p.m.?
Yeah, it's more... For me, it's 10 to 11. For you, it's 10 to 12.
Yeah, but when we're talking about, especially for Brenna sitting in California, it's noon. So she's 8 fucking hours away from you, 9 hours away from me.
Yeah, and we're all sitting there getting fucking off our tits on wine and all other sorts of inebriating substances.
And for Mike, it's 6 and 7, and it's yeah, of course, it's a fucking hassle to have.
Do you know what? I don't think we give ourselves enough credit as to how we even put this fucking thing on.
No, we don't do it online, but we fucking give ourselves credit in the background, though.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It's hard work, because like now, it's, let's say, 10 to 11 here.
Yeah.
Both my girls are in bed. My missus is in bed. And I'm sat here with paperwork that I still got to do for tomorrow. But
yeah, I got my missus in the coop.
Yeah. So I'm burdened with chatting to Fat 4.
Yeah. Lucky you. And not in the suits anymore.
Yeah, I've lost a bet.
Yeah, you owe me a pint, mate.
I owe you more than a pint, my friend. More than a
Yes, you
pint.
do. Hey, by the way, all right.
Even though I just looked at my PayPal, there was no return.
Isn't there? Was I supposed to send you anything?
Yeah.
Okay. I might have forgotten about something that I said that I would do.
Yeah.
Ask ex-wife. She would verify that happens quite often.
Well, I'm not going to ask your ex-wife because she's gagged over there.
Yeah, she's a cunt. But yeah, properly. But all right. But what I really want to talk about is there has been this thing over here now, and I want to see if it's the same thing over in the UK. So we have a lot of influencers, political influencers, talking about women issues, about politics and all of that. But at the same time, they're posting pictures of Instagram filled with, merchandise, hidden commercials. They're tagging in, different brands and all of that. And they're always looking like fierce, and it's obvious that this has been done by a professional photographer.
Right,
But in the text underneath, they're making this really nice point.
Okay, can you do me a favour?
Yeah.
And make your point succinctly.
All right,
because you're kind of going a bit roundabout.
Yeah. Is it okay to do hidden advertising if you're doing it if you have a higher purpose in doing it?
If you're transparent, then yes. But if you do it in a clandestine way, then no.
So yeah, I agree. But one of the issues that I have is that a lot of like really big influencers over here are the subject matter that they are trying to get across is really nice, but it always has this, subscribe and share in the end. You know what I mean? Which basically means that when you are sharing and subscribing that picture or whatever they put out on Instagram, you're sort of
you're part of the problem.
You are just spreading advertisement, and we do have laws, and a lot of the influencers over here has been, they've been torn down because they do hidden advertising.
Yeah, over here we have to have if you have an Instagram advert, it has to be stated that it's an Instagram advert.
Yes, but what if you don't say that it's an advert and you just tag, the clothing brand that you're wearing? You don't say that they give you the clothes, but you are always wearing their clothes.
It's a difficult one because I know someone, I know a few people that have relationships with Instagram accounts and have promoted certain things through Instagram that have been paid to promote it, but have not actually said that it's a paid promotion.
Yeah. So is that okay?
It's a tough one because, if me and you, for instance, I promoted James's book, but the only reason I promoted it was because I'm in the mentions, so I'm not getting paid for that at all. I'm just doing it as a favour for a mate.
Did you get the book for free?
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you have any financial interest in it?
No, absolutely none. None. The only reason, for the last 3 weeks, I've plugged this book is because,
All right. First of all,
No. I'm just gonna say this so we can, like, as a disclaimer. James O'Brien is a personal friend of mine, and he sent me a copy of his book, and I do my best to promote his book because I like to see him all right. We have a tiny platform, absolutely tiny platform, but he's done me the honour of like personalising a book to me, all right, like handwritten. There you go. And in dimensions as well, which is massive. Like I'm like some geezer from Basildon that tries to save the planet, and yet I feature in both of James O'Brien's books. That's
and by the way,
massive. So I'm
yeah.
trying to put him over as best
But
I can on my little platform.
we also had a lovely lady that works as a producer from Fort James on our
Yes,
last
Ava
episode.
Evans.
Yes, we did.
The first time I've ever seen you wear a suit.
And the next time we'll be at our wedding.
I'm pretty sure Ava is not interested.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Because she is human and has eyes.
Eyesight fade over time, mate.
Oh, for God's sake. Ava, again, thank you for coming on. I'm sorry about Jartan. Sorry.
Well, she did agree to go dinner with me.
Yeah, because you were paying.
Yeah. Well.
And I'm supposed to be outside with a sniper rifle or a tranquilizer gun.
I bet you would. Fucking sitting there like fucking Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible, going like,
He's leaning over. He's leaning over. Yeah, that's how it would be. Anyway, mate, what have you been up to? Come on, let's talk to the people about what's been going on in our lives.
All right, so I've been doing a lot of stupid shit.
Super shit.
I've been doing a lot of stupid shit.
Oh, stupid shit. Sorry, I thought you said super shit.
All right.
I was like, what?
Yeah, no, so I bought a... So I signed up to buy a snowmobile,
Stop
right?
buying shit for one.
Yes. And then I realized I need to haul that fucking snowmobile around, so I had to buy a trailer for it. And then I realized my car wasn't good enough to tow the trailer around, so I had to get a new car. And then I bought a new car, and then I was like, isn't there a way to optimize, the CPU on this? You can get a bit more power out of it. And it is. So I'm doing that. Then Harley Davidson released a 131 kit, a 131 cubic inch kit for their 114 Milwaukee 8 engine that got released last year, which I bought with a 474 power cam. And then I thought, well, maybe I should have the 131 cubic inch instead of 114, so I bought that kit. And then it turns out that the exhaust system wouldn't really be legal in any country but Sweden, so I had to buy a new exhaust system. And basically, then I realized, well, if I'm tricking it out, then I should get the biggest dampers out there as well. So I bought new front and rear suspension for it. So that's about 12 grand. So, yeah. I bought a lot of stupid shit that I don't need, but it's fun.
Well, send some of that money my way, and I'll show you how much childishness I can spend it on. I have Transformers everywhere.
Transformers?
I'm a massive geek, mate.
So am I, but I like my Transformers to move. I would like Jesus Christ. You should see my snowmobile. It fucking looks like a blue bumblebee, for fuck's sake.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane. Like no, the new fucking snowmobiles now, they look like fucking Transformers. They fucking look like actual fucking robots. It's insane. It's a beautiful. It's a thing of beauty though.
Happy days. Let's get back to the serious shit.
It's time to taste death for a few hours. That day, folks. See you later, dog.
Right, what's going on in the vaccine area of your world?
Can we please not talk about fucking Sweden and Corona because it's just gonna wind me up again? All right, no.
Let's, because this is the thing that fucks me off, right? I've said to you this so many times. I speak to a guy that lives in Sweden, and Sweden is held up as the big fucking, oh, look how beautiful Sweden is. And they didn't do shit. Let's talk about the truth about Sweden.
So now we are starting to get, some sort of rules and regulations that actually mean shit. All right? I've said this so many times before. There is a problem when you just give people, advice. No, you can't talk into that, and you need to talk into.
It's got to stay flat.
Yep.
Okay.
Because there's no condenser.
No,
it's just a rain.
No, there's 3 compressors in there. That's what I was.
Yeah, just a rain. They're going
okay.
Around. So Sweden has done this thing when you give recommendations like, please do this, right? And then, fucking hell. We don't give people recommendations on how fast they can go around the A4, do we? We give them
a limit.
We give them a speed limit. If you break the speed limit, you get penalised, don't you?
Yep.
But if you told everybody, like, we recommend you do only 70 on the A5, right? Mm-hmm. But if you do 170, nothing will happen. But we just recommend 70. People would be doing whatever the fuck they feel like. Oh, I'm in a hurry. I'll do 130 today. Right? I got a fast car. I'll do 180 for fuck's sake. It doesn't work. Speed limits only work because there's repercussions if you break them. Right? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with the fucking quarantine rules. If there's no repercussions, if there's no consequence for you breaking the recommendations, you're still going to go out, nah, I feel fine. Don't have any symptoms. I'll have a party. I'll, do this. I'll do that. And nobody fucking cares. And there's no fucking consequence at all for you doing this. So, that's one thing. The second thing that Sweden's got wrong is that they started to privatize healthcare, right? And then they took away employment security for a lot of people. So you can employ people on a short-term contract, or you can have them by the hour, like pay them by the hour. So you only get paid for the hours that you actually work, which means that you don't get sick pay if you call in sick and you don't work the hours. You don't get fucking sick pay. So the stretch that you have to walk to actually call in sick gets longer and longer and longer, because if you don't work, you don't get paid, because we have privatized healthcare. So people would go with symptoms, go into elderly fucking healthcare homes and work, because if they didn't, they couldn't make rent that month. And then you took Corona into the elderly homes, where the people who were most vulnerable, were in risk groups, live. So all of this is where Sweden has fucking failed by taking on the privatized fucking healthcare system for some fucking reason that I will never fucking understand, to save my life. Because it used to work. No, it wasn't the most cost-effective fucking way to do it. But when do we put healthcare and cost into the same fucking sentence? I will never fucking understand. And why we have private actors, because if I start a company, right, what is my main incentive of that company?
Make money.
Yes, it will always be to make money. So if you have privatized fucking healthcare companies, what would their main incentive be? Would it be to give the best healthcare that they can?
Not in the slightest.
Would they care if they had a zero sum at the end of a year?
Nope.
Yes, they would, because they're not making a profit. If they make a zero sum at the end of the year, they're not making a profit.
Sorry, I misunderstood your question. I
Yeah.
thought you was going on the negatives all the way. So
Yeah, no. So if you have government healthcare system like the NHS or the main part of our healthcare system, right? Then
yeah,
there's not a monetized fucking incentive for you to do anything, because it's not about the money. It's about giving the best healthcare that you can do within the parameters of your assignment, right?
yeah. Because the thing is, if you have a profit motive within the healthcare system, you are going to create death panels in the sense of this is how we're going to make money. This person is not profitable. We need to get rid. So capitalism in itself is a death panel when it comes to privatized healthcare.
Say hi to Gustav. Hi, Gustav.
Hello, Gustav.
No, but that's the point. As soon as you put money into the equation, it all becomes about, all right, me as an owner, I need to make money.
No. As soon as you put the capitalist model into healthcare, you create a death panel every time, every single fucking time, because end of the day, the purpose of a corporation is to make its shareholders money. That's a legal obligation. So when you introduce a private sector into healthcare, you literally create a death panel. Am I wrong?
No, you don't. You're not.
So why is it that when it comes to the propaganda from the right, then when they're talking about socialized medicine, they're saying, "Oh, you create a death panel because socialist medicine means you're going to kill people off." Why?
No, but we know that this is a fallacy. We know that this is.
We do.
No, everybody does, because you've seen this over and over again. People think that like doctors over here are poor just because they live within a socialized healthcare system, a single payer healthcare system. No, they're not. They're making at least 100 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They all drive around.
And yet they still live down your road.
I was here first.
And so is the poultry.
No, the poultry moved in with Emma.
Okay. All right. Continue.
Yeah, Mr. Member of the Royal Poultry Club of Great Britain. I know that you want to talk about the poultry. I'll have Emma over to explain a bit about poultry holding. No, but here's the deal. Like, we need to see that just because we don't have a entirely privatized system in Sweden, it's more privatized in Sweden than it is in Norway, right? And the more we privatize the healthcare system in Sweden, the more it's failing, right? The more it's about the money, the more it's failing. And it's about the privatization. The privatization is killing the healthcare system in Sweden. Yet the right wing, still, the people on the right are still saying it's a good thing because they believe in a capitalist model. And I don't get that. I don't understand how you can do that when it keeps fucking you in the arse. But they still saying that, no, it's because of the socialized system. The socialized system is killing us. No, it's not.
Got the perfect example right here.
Right, please go for it.
Right, so I've got this little tangerine here. This tangerine represents a finite amount of space and volume. Okay? So what the socialist system would do, or the NHS, would be like, we skim this little bit off here and then we graft it back down here. What the private sector do is they skim this bit off here, never to return. They skim it off here, never to return. Skim this off here, never to return. And eventually this finite object becomes nothing but this little green bit at the bottom. And then we complain that we've got nothing left. And we allowed that to happen because we've been told, because we are such credulous lemmings, that privatisation is the best.
Credulous lemons, are we?
Mm.
That's a big word for a big man.
Dude, I'm the biggest sesquipedalian you'll ever meet. And this is your second language. I'll let you away with not knowing what that means.
I know what that means.
Mm. So the fact that we allow private sector investment into finite areas of public funding is it's a paradox in itself, because it only serves to one end. We're going to suck everything out of this until there's nothing left. Because in a socialist, not in a socialist system, in a socially funded system, you create wealth and regain wealth. Whereas in a privatized system, you skim wealth. And that is what I don't think a lot of people realise.
All right, let me be a bit of a dick now.
Go on then. No, mate. It's in your nature. It's who you are. It's what you are.
Yes. So, but these private companies pay tax, and that goes back into the system to fund it. And by having these companies pay tax back into the system and their employees, then they self-fund. So if they do a profit, they pay tax on that, and then it goes back into the system, and it's self-funds.
No.
What is that?
No. Okay, so I'll give you a perfect example. So if you look at G4S, which is a private company that works within the NHS. So
just give me a second, X. Please elaborate on what you mean by that's a first quarter problem. This is the fourth quarter.
Right. So let me give you an example. I'm going to use my phone. This is my phone.
By the way, X, I'm going to send you a link just to be.
Turn it around this way, so it's not that reflective. So this is the funding for a particular scheme. All right. Now, as a private company, whenever I take any funding out of this, it's never going back into it, because I'm taking a little chunk. If it was socially funded, this little chunk here would then recirculate and come back here. If you're constantly skimming and putting something elsewhere, you're cutting away at that finite resource. So even if you are paying tax as a company, but you're still withdrawing money from that system, you are not effectively paying tax. What you're doing is just slow killing someone. It's like cancer. So you act like a virus. You say, okay, well, we'll help you, but we're slowly expanding our reserve at the expense of yours. Once your reserve is expanded, we win. And that's the problem with capitalism.
Is it though?
Oh yeah. If your sole interest is making as much money as you can, then you don't give a fuck about anything else. And why do we have this obsession with making money to have as much stuff as we can? What is getting on with enough so bad? Why is it so bad?
Sorry, I was having crisp. Yes, but does one thing say that you can't do the other? So why is it wrong for people to own stuff?
There's nothing wrong with people owning stuff, but why is the obsession of our model of life based on the ownership of stuff? Why is success deemed as the amount of stuff that you have? Because that's the problem. Because if I was obsessed with the amount of stuff that you have and helping you out, and you was doing the same thing about someone else, then that works as a circular economy. But if it's all about me and how much I can nick from you, then that's not a good way to work. If you take the my thesis is, I like to say that we're all playing a massive game of Monopoly. And what happens at the end of the game of Monopoly? Someone flips a ball because they go, oh, fuck this, I can't win. Fuck it.
X, by the way, X, can you hit me up on Twitter because I tried to send you a link and it won't let me. So just hit me up on Twitter and I'll send you a link. Please go on.
No, I'll ask you a question, mate.
Yeah, I was talking to X, so I didn't hear the question. Sorry.
Fuck you.
Yes.
I was just saying that we're all playing a massive game of Monopoly, and at the end of the game of Monopoly, someone flips a board.
Yes.
Because money only goes one way when it comes to the capitalist model.
Yes.
So, if we work in a socialist model or a social democratic model, which means the money keeps recirculating, then we get on better. But this accumulation of wealth, accumulation of stuff, narrative that we have in the group consciousness of most Western democracies is kind of viral to a means to an end. Because if all the money ends up in one place, what's the point in doing what we're doing?
X writes, I don't think it's wrong for people to own stuff at all. I just don't get why it always is a race to the cheapest and exploitable price point to where nothing is quality because we can't afford it. So
I don't understand that.
I don't think it's wrong for people to own stuff at all. I just don't get why it's always a race to the cheapest and exploitable price point.
Because it means you save more money for you to accumulate more stuff after you purchase. Like say for instance, like this mouse. Like one of the girls at work bought me this mouse, right? Because I said I haven't got a mouse for my laptop. She bought it, right? She bought it on Amazon. It was like $6.99. But if I was to go to my local shop and buy the equivalent, it'll be a tenner. But it was convenient, it was easier, and through the capitalist model, this mouse came to my front door. I didn't pay for it. But surely, if we was all playing on a level playing field, this mouse should be the same price everywhere across the line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. And this is what killing like small retailers around the world, right?
Yep.
Is that people they will go into the retailers, they will test the merchandise, test the clothing, test whatever they're selling, and then they will go go home,
Yep,
and order it online, and they don't pay the person that's been helping you for half an hour to find the right size of your pants, your shoes, or your helmet, or whatever the fuck you're buying.
Yeah, because they want you to buy the $14.99 version of this that you can buy on another online retailer for $4.99.
Yes, but you're not paying for only for the mouse. You're paying for somebody to help you find the mouse, helping you find the clothes that fit you. You're paying people's actual fucking living by doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember where I heard this. I read it somewhere where there was actually clothing stores. They were charging people to try their clothes.
Yep.
You had to pay to try clothes on because they were so sick and tired of people coming in trying on their
Keep that going. I'm sure to pop off
yeah,
quickly.
fucking trying on their designer fucking clothing and then going home and ordering it online for less. And there you have this like store clerk who's been helping you out for I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, helping you to squeeze your fat butt into that pair of jeans that will fit you fucking perfectly, and then you just take notes and you fucking go and buy it. That's why I always buy stuff at my local store. Well, I try to, anyways. The local store doesn't always carry what I want to buy, and I have to go online and buy it. But if I can buy it in my local store, I will. I always will. Now you have to talk because I need to pop out for just a second.
Yeah. So I'll give you the perfect example. So in my job, I go to people's houses and look at their energy efficiency measures in their homes, and I go there and I have to give them advice on what they can do, what can be done, and then ask my office to quote them on what can be done. Now, if they don't have any work done through my office, I don't get paid. But I go there and I give them all this information for nothing. Now, my job as an assessor means that I have to be impartial. I have to go there and look at a house in an holistic way and say, right, okay, this is where your house will benefit from. This is what we can do, and then do a survey on that particular property and say, I'll give this to the office. The office will quote you on what my findings. If that job doesn't go through, I don't get paid. Same as like someone in retail. If they go to a certain shop, look at a certain item of clothing, try it on. Oh, this is nice. The shop assistant is there looking after them, and you take it off, you put it back, and you go online, and then you buy it. That shop assistant doesn't get their commission, and I think this is a massive problem with the whole commercialization of limited resources. Because if you look at it fundamentally, I don't even know who that is. If you look at it fundamentally, we have every option to look at certain things and buy certain things in very different ways. And if, for instance, myself, if I come to your house to look at your house and see what I can do for you, and your option is to choose another vendor to insulate your home, for instance, I go there and I give you everything that I know. All my knowledge comes to you for free, because I'm not there to try and goad you into a job. I'm not a salesman. I'm there like just going, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. You need this to fix it, and you choose another company based on my thesis. I don't get paid for any of that, and I find that is abhorrent to like this kind of secular financial economy structure, in the sense of I've come to your house, I've given you my time, my effort, and my knowledge, and yet you're going to someone else because it's cheaper and more convenient for you. I don't feel that is a sustainable model of economy. Same as if you were to go to, I don't know, let's make it really simple. You need new tyres, and you went to 2 tyre shops. The first tyre shop told you that you need these tyres, and then you went to the second tyre shop and bought the tyres there because they were cheaper, but you took all of the advice from the first tyre shop. That is where I feel the selfishness of the human psyche is right now, because we want to know everything for nothing and then find the cheapest option. But the person that gave you that advice, their advice means absolutely nothing, because you can take that and just go, oh, I can get it cheaper down here. You have no honour in the sense of you just nick knowledge, basically. And
I get fucking scared when you start closing your eyes, mate. Think that you.
No. I'm thinking. All
right. I thought you that like. Are you falling asleep again, dude?
No.
All right. Good.
I was just sitting there thinking, because it's something that does actually grind my gears. When I go to people's houses, I'm honourable enough to tell them what they need to know, and then they go and say, "Oh, this other person told me this." I'm like, well, this other person's turning you over, and I get no financial compensation for that. There's no work there for me, and yet I'm giving this advice. I really and truly, I should just go, nah, fuck it, go with the other person.
Okay, so Tons on Mice actually said something that made sense for once. The factory owner depresses his workers' wages to save costs, which reduces his customers' purchasing power, so they can't afford his products. Capitalism fails. True.
Say that again?
You can read it on screen, dude. The factory owner depresses his workers' wages to save costs, which reduces his consumers' purchasing power, so they can't afford his products. Capitalism fails. Yes, to a certain degree, Tons of
It doesn't.
But what they'll do is they'll go to a country
another
option that is cheaper and doesn't have any security for their employees and doesn't have safe working conditions and all that, and they will buy stuff just cheaper. That's how the fucking. I'm not saying that fucking British Leyland was fucking perfect, because he fucking wasn't. They spent more time on strike than actually fucking producing cars.
Yeah, but that was an arrogance of labour.
Yes, and every fucking car was fucking, constructed on a fucking committee, which is never a good fucking idea.
Because the thing is, no one ever wanted a Friday afternoon car.
Nobody wanted a Friday afternoon car. Nobody ever wanted a lemon, right? But the point I'm trying to make is that at least what they tried to do was noble, right?
Yeah, to a degree.
But having now, like, I have this ridiculously expensive iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, designed in California. It says on the back, and this is funny as shit. So, this is I think this is 11 Pro. I think I paid about 1,500 quid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Designed in California, made in China.
Why?
What do you think that is? What do you think that is? And you think a lot of that 1,500 quid that I pay for that phone goes towards people in fucking China? Of course it doesn't. It's fucking branding.
This is the rank hypocrisy of capitalism.
Yeah, they are trying to maximize profits, right? So instead of having, because the work could easily be fucking done in the US, in California, by an Apple factory right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't even make the fucking phone cost anymore, unless.
Yes, it would. It would.
No, it wouldn't.
Fundamentally, it would, because if you was to make that same phone in California, you would have to abide by your California state laws. You'd have to pay someone a certain minimum wage. They'd have to have certain working environments and certain workers' rights.
Yeah, but what if we pay the CEO just a little less?
Doesn't matter. That's not
Yes,
how it
it
works,
does.
mate. That's not how it works. And you know it, mate. So don't be so fucking silly naive, because the CEO is going to make that multiplier from the CEO from if you look, let me find it. There's a brilliant Mark Blythe piece on this from the mid 70s. The trajectory of income, the main male income and inflation was parallel, like this. Yeah.
From
And then
19. All right.
about
So
1976, right? And then all of a sudden, inflation went like that, right? And the male income path went like that. And that is why you can track every single thing that is wrong with going on in today's economy to that period. The Right to Buy by Margaret Thatcher, Reaganomics by Ronald Reagan, all came down to those two factors. We need to get people as skint as we possibly can and get them in as much debt as we possibly can. That way we can control them.
But you are not contradicting my point. So, all right. So look, let's look at from.
I am a bit.
Yeah, a bit, but not really. So from 1946 to 1982, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Sweden now.
Okay.
And I'm talking about Nordic countries. You had a unison between the growth of the factory workers' pay.
Yeah.
And
Post
the CEO,
Second World War.
Yeah, and the CEO factory, the CEO of the factory's pay that went in unison, right? So in 1980, the difference between what the average factory worker and the average CEO made was 6.5, right? The CEO made 6.5 as much money. No, sorry, nine times as much money in 1980, as much money as the average factory worker, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the Reaganomics that you talked about, where we start having that, and then the workers start flattening out, and the CEO goes like this, right? So you know the difference between the average factory worker and the CEO wage is now?
I believe it's 200 and something.
Oh, that's a bit high. That's not the average. The average is 82.
Okay.
That's quite a leap from 9. That's 9 times as much. 9 times 9 is 80. Is 81. But
you can't hear any of my audio, can you?
Nope.
Alright, cool.
I don't know what you're doing. And you can't play audio, dude.
Can I share this in here?
Yeah, you can share screen, but you can't share audio.
Are we live?
Yes, we are. You remember when I played the intro music about an hour ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. No. I'm just looking at something that I've just found, and
So, all right. So the factory workers, the actual workers creating the products, right? Their wages start flattening out, and the CEOs went up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any reason we should have CEOs making $1 billion a year? No, not at all. So what I'm saying is, if you had factory workers who are paid a good wage in California, and then you have a CEO of that factory creating fucking iPhones who doesn't make $1 billion.
Yeah, creating the wealth.
Yeah. Yes. So he goes down. Then you could still sell the same phone for the same price, but the CEO wouldn't have $1 billion a year.
Yeah. but there's a $1 billion curve. So, like, if you work in tandem, excuse my broken finger, please. I'll do this. If you work in tandem, you work parallel with your workforce, right? And I'm trying to get this right. Right. So if you work parallel with your workforce, and then you start doing this, right?
Yeah.
This arc here purposely suppresses this one here.
Of course it does. But that's
So
my point.
So to understand why that happened and at a certain time point that happened is fundamental to the argument as to how you fix that. And that happened in the mid to late 70s. So, like, back in the day, my nan's generation, like my nan's a boomer, and well, both my nans are boomers.
You're probably a boomer. What, when you were born, 1960?
No, mate. I'm an OG millennial.
I
81.
know, yeah.
81. But back then it was like the mum only went to work as a supplementary to the dad's income, because the dad would, or the man would be the main breadwinner. So that was the case up until the mid to late 70s. And what changed? The inflation rate changed and unions got too strong. So unions were taking people out on strike willy-nilly. Oh, Friday afternoon, lads, let's go out and strike. So how do you suppress the unions? You give people the option to buy their own council house. And when they buy their own council house, i.e. the right to buy, if you miss a mortgage payment, you get evicted. So now you've made people think they're winning at life, but you've also put a millstone around their neck. So you're less likely to go out on strike because you're like, lads, no, I can't miss my mortgage payment. So straight away you circumvent the union's authority over an autonomous human worker, because they're saying, no, I can't be a union member if you're telling me I've got to go out and strike and I've got a mortgage payment to pay. And that's how they decimated the unions. And it was a very clandestine but very, very cunningly, strategically placed weapon to get rid of unions. And there is absolutely no way that anyone can argue with me on that front, because it's demonstrably true. You can see it. Are you going to go on strike? No, I've got a mortgage payment to pay. Okay, sorry, mate. You're a scab.
Yep.
So you artificially create a divide. But the person that is owning the house thinks that they're winning. And the person that is in their council house and is still on a production line is still winning, but they feel they're lesser than the person who hasn't bought the house.
Yes, but you know the system is rigged, right? We all know the system is rigged.
I've literally just explained it.
Yeah, but we all know that. But just to tell you a personal anecdote, and we know that anecdotal evidence is not evidence that was systemic collapse,
it's
right?
Not data. It's not data.
Right. It's not data. But about 5 years ago, I separated from my ex-wife, and I had to take out.
No, she's separated from you.
And I had to take out a ridiculously expensive mortgage because I was not in a very good financial situation at the moment, right? So the mortgage payments were ridiculously high. I struggled to get by for quite some time. But as soon as my financial situation started to light up, you know, the mortgage company and the banks were all over me, you know, overbidding themselves, trying to get their interest.
Have some money.
Yeah, like, come on, like, come over to us. We'll get your interest down. We'll do this for you. We'll do this for you. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there with a mortgage, which is the same size, right? But it cost me half. what it used to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Just because all of a sudden, I've got money. And then I started paying off my mortgage, and then they have like financial advisors at the bank going, look, no, if you get rid of all the mortgage, then you have to pay more taxes, and then you won't get your tax returns, and you can write off pretty much what you pay in interest on your taxes and all that. And now all of a sudden they're interested in my financial situation and bettering it. Nobody fucking cared about that 5 years ago when I had fucking no money and I was struggling shit.
No, because all they're interested in is getting you in debt. Because the more debt you get in, the more malleable you are to their cause.
Yes, because a mortgage to them is not worth what the mortgage is worth to you. So if you have a 40 grand fucking mortgage or a 100 grand fucking mortgage, right? And you have to pay that off over, let's say, 20 years, right? That would pretty much, even if you're on prime interest, right? Which is, what, 195 right now?
I have no idea. I have no interest in all that shit.
I think in the EU, I think it's 195. That would mean that basically after 20 years, you've paid on that 100 grand, you pay 250 if it's 195, right? After 20 years. So you paid 1.5 times the actual size of your mortgage to the bank. So that's what your mortgage is worth for them. Not the 100 grand, but the 250 that you will pay them over 20 years, right? So you're not worth 100 grand to them. You're worth 250, 1.5 times.
Yeah.
So of course they want to keep you on as a customer, but if they feel like they're taking a risk on you, then they can say like, well, you're a risk consumer, and we're gonna do this and that.
This is the thing, because I get a lot of shit from people, because obviously for those that don't know, I rent where I live, and people are like, oh, why are you renting? Because like you could be paying that on a mortgage. I'm like, yeah, but it's still dead money. And they're like, no, how's it dead money? Because you still own it at the end of it. I'm like, well, I'm paying interest, which is made up money. Made up. Because no one's like earning, they're not earning anything from my labour. They're just taking a bit of money from me being where I am for the sake of it, and they're getting it for nothing. So if I rent or if I have a mortgage, it's the same. You still have to pay to live somewhere.
No, but at the end of the day, though, I will have a property that I own, and you won't.
That's not really an argument.
So right now, I think what's left of my 1 point.
If my boiler goes tits up, I phone my landlord.
Sure.
I ain't got that money to drop on a fucking boiler.
No, but you have insurance for that shit, dude.
Not a lot. A lot of people don't.
No, but like you can get insurance for that. Like here, if I have a water leakage or anything, I just call my insurance company and they'll sort it out for me. But at the end of the day, like I'm sitting on something that's worth a lot more than my mortgage is. So that is considered wealth, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's not liquid and I can't take out that money out of the bank, I can't go live that money.
Let me tell you something, right? I have spent over 100 grand in rent to my landlord for where I am right now. Okay? And people are like, oh, what have you got to show for it? Well, I tell you what I've got to show for it. I've got a home for my family. And
I'm not, yeah, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't be proud of that. I'm just saying that when you have the opportunity and the financial situation to buy a house,
I would only buy a house outright. I can't. Like I literally can't see. I don't mind paying rent for the rest of my life. That's not a problem. because I've got to live somewhere. So if I've got to pay someone to live in their property, I've got to live there. Unless I can buy a house outright, I can't see myself getting into these epic levels of debt just to say I own a house. Because go on, mate, you want to jump in?
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, like, I started off with 120 grand mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down to 40 now.
Mm.
The property that I live in is valued to about 280.
Mm.
So if I decide to sell this, I got 240 grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's but if you decide to move, right?
Mm.
You got nothing to show for it.
No.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're in a financial position to buy a house, and yes, it's rigged. It's rigged against the poor people, and I struggled. I'm just fucking lucky.
No, Shazam, for me to even be in your position, right? How much your ass at the minute?
Uh, 250, 250, 280 maybe.
250. So I would have to find 50 grand just to get a look in on a
Yeah,
mortgage.
no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm lucky
How
as
can
shit.
how can I do that and sustain my level of living? Absolutely no chance.
Didn't you hear what I said? Like, if you're in
Sorry.
a financial position to do so, you should always buy a house. I know that everybody is not in a financial position to do so, but it is a good investment if you do it on the right time.
For me to buy or get a deposit in the same level as your house, I would have to work for 2 years and not touch any of my money. How do I do that?
I couldn't tell you, mate.
And that's the paradox. That's the paradox.
It's a dilemma.
Because I have to. Yeah, it is a dilemma. Um, actually, no, it's more of a paradox because I have to want to try and live to the same level as my peers and save up at the same time. And that's a paradox.
Yeah, but dude, you don't know how many times I've been like inches away from losing my house because I've been struggling to make mortgage payment. I'm just in a more financial lucky situation. I'm luckier financially now, but
Mm,
it's about luck. It's fucking luck, man.
yeah.
Jesus Christ! 5 years ago, I paid I don't know like 8-9% on my fucking mortgage. You know, I was out like 1,200 quid just on the fucking mortgage, and I got paid 1900. So I had to pay everything else, you know, electricity, heat,
Yeah,
all of that.
I'll get that. I'll get that.
But every now and then you get a break. My break was fucking
Oh,
get run over by a fucking
I could do a break right
forklift.
now. Fuck me, I hate being skint. Oh, it's fucking awful. I get paid end of the month, and then just pay all my shit off, and then okay, that's what you got left. That'll do. I'll try and trickle through with it. That's my existence. That's like I would say that was the existence for a lot of people in my arena of wealth. You get paid, and then what you got left, that's what you got to deal with for the rest of the month. That's yeah. I would say that was probably 70% of people I know.
There's a lot more of you than there are of me.
Yeah. 100%.
So
Yeah, it just is what it is, man.
yeah, Yeah,
as long as my girls are alright, and I can still do
and your
me.
boy, and your boy. All right, I'm not getting that. All right, no love for me. Fuck you then.
Wow, this is Orcs.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need to go get something to eat because I am scheduled to be on Neil 6 for the Atheist in pretty much an hour and 11 minutes on the clock. We
Yep,
don't have any more wine for Wayne. Wayne needs to go to bed. He's got work in the morning.
I have got work in the morning.
He does have work in the morning. Wayne,
Yeah.
what you got for us?
Look, listen, people. Please subscribe to our podcast. Please join our Patreon. I'm going to be out there tomorrow trying to save the planet on my own in my diesel van. It's the least you could do. And if you want more crap like this, me and Jartan talking shit to each other and having banter, then do you know what? Support us. We do all right, but we'd like to do better.
Yes, we are. This has been the Ben podcast. It's only been me and Wayne.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
have been
knackered.
watching. You
I'm
have been.
knackered.
Yes, you are, dude. We are signing off. We will be back. Black. That would well.
Wow.
That would well.
How are you staying up?
Yeah, and I got in an hour. I got an hour show, and then I got an after show on that fucking thing. So we'll be back next Thursday. For me, for Wayne, and of course Brenna, Mikey, and Cortez who aren't here for the Ben podcast. Thank you. See you soon.
Too sweet.
All right, we're off.
Oh, I'm gonna have to plug back in.